I want to farm. You know, that's what I want to do. I've done some other things, but growing up around it, being around it, I go back to being on the farm.
I love what I do. I love the farm.
Once you get it in your blood, I don't think you could do anything else.
I'm a fourth generation farmer with my father, my brother, my son, my nephew, my first cousin. We all farm together.
I mean, you have to be strong mentally, you have to have a strong back, you have to have a strong faith.
There's so much sacrifice. So much sacrifice that a farmer has to give. You leave home in the morning, you have an infant at the house. You come home at 12 o'clock at night, you got an infant in the house, and you leave, she's asleep. You get back, she's asleep. So what are we sacrificing to try to make a living? And sooner or later, you question yourself whether this is what you want to do. It's your passion.
Agriculture is first and foremost the largest economic factor in the state of Georgia. Nothing comes close.
The agriculture for the state of Georgia is well over $73 billion in economic impact, which is huge. Agriculture is our #1 industry. 1 out of 7 Georgians work in or around agriculture.
The last 2 years have been terrible for the cotton industry. Most people don't know that cotton is the largest row crop in Georgia. We are only second to Texas, and we are a major exporter of cotton. It creates many jobs throughout this state. It should be $2.5–3 billion industry, but here the last couple of years we've took some billion-dollar losses.
Hurricane Michael hit southwest Georgia with an unexpected force on October 10th.
As crops, trees, and buildings were blown over by more than 100-mile-an-hour wind. One of the crops most affected was cotton, as this year's bumper yield was wiped away in a matter of hours.
Small towns and farms face something unseen in the state for more than 100 years.
Hurricane Michael placed about a $3 billion loss on our state in the area of agriculture.
We could have weathered Hurricane Irma with the crop that we had in the field last year. People had been talking about how there'd been a bumper crop and probably the biggest crop of cotton that South Georgia has ever grown.
Best crop we've had in a long time, best markets we've had in a long time. Everybody in agriculture was going to make money in 2018.
We were really excited about it. We just couldn't wait to get in the field. I had 700 acres that was defoliated, ready to pick. We had picked 80 acres of it whenever that fateful windy night in South Georgia came, and the next morning was just devastating. I had talked to my daddy about 8 o'clock that night, and I said, well, I think we're gonna get out of this pretty good. Within an hour of that conversation, it got totally devastating.
When I got out that morning, I literally couldn't talk.
I didn't think, we didn't think it was that bad, because we ride by at 55, 60 miles an hour. You see white. You don't see the, 4, 5, 6, or whatever 100 pounds that's laying on the ground. That's gone. Once it touches the ground, it's done.
I texted the Commissioner of Agriculture on Thursday morning at 7:30. I said, Commissioner, I don't know what you know yet, but this is going to be bad.
I got to the first cotton field. It was a neighbor of ours, Brian Cape, and I pulled up in Brian's field, and I took about 3 steps in it, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack.
Well, imagine waking up, going to bed one night, and you got a cotton crop out there that's going to set a record crop. And you wake up the next morning and it's all gone. You didn't just lose $1,000 or $2,000. You lost anywhere from $2,000 up to $500,000 overnight.
I mean, within a matter of 4 hours, your entire crop is gone. Everything that you had worked for all year, everything that you looked and prayed over all year long was gone, and therefore the only place we had to look was up.
It costs a lot to do what we do, and that's the problem that we have now is, you know, our input costs continue to go up, but the price we receive for the products we grow and produce continues to go down.
I'd say I've lost anywhere between 1.2 and 1.5 million dollars.
There's no way to measure the actual loss, but we were down 25 to 30,000 bales. I had friends and cotton gins that lost 40 and 50,000 bales.
We've lost about $1,250,000 probably in the past 2 years.
I'm back basically to square one. Everything I've done for 30 years, I've mortgaged back to the hilt. There's no way out without selling my property and to get my feet back on the ground.
It was a gut punch because we were, I guess you say, looking for pay dirt, and because it was a great crop that went south fast. It just goes to show in life, not just on the farm, things can change in the blink of an eye. I don't think the general public realizes how important what we do is.
We've just been beat down so many times that farming communities, a lot of times we don't give up on trying. We just kind of get beat down with being pushed down and thinking that we're not important.
You know, as a farmer, there's always next year, and that, you know, we say that, and that's what we believe. And there is always next year, and we're going to plant another seed, and we're going to go again, but we have to have money. So the financial part of it is, you know, we've been working together. I hope we can all continue to work together, but, you know, if we don't get help from the federal government, if we don't have a good crop, if we don't have a good market for the crop, then I think things are going to start snowballing on us, and that's the scary part.
My biggest fear in agriculture is, one, we live in a nation that doesn't care. Number two, we're not encouraging people to come into this business. But there again, why would they want to? We've had 2 hurricanes. Our Midwest neighbors are flooding.
We incentivize the movie industry. We incentivize the music industry. We incentivize a lot of manufacturers to come to our state. But are we doing anything to incentivize people to buy our agricultural, Georgia-grown products?
I have 3 nephews, Clint, Kobe, and Clay. And I want to see them have the opportunity to go in agriculture and agribusiness if they so choose.
I'm a part of the Young Georgia Farmers Association, or in Georgia. Our FFAs, they're pushing more to the livestock instead of they are row crop. I don't know where the future farmer's going.
The farmer's going to survive. We're going to make it like everybody else in this room. We're going to survive.
Farmers are resilient. Farmers are gonna do everything possible to try to make a living. We hate to be told we're losers.
Somebody out there that has seconds in, or even wanting to farm, you know, or say they've been farming a couple of years, they don't think it's worth it. It'll be worth it. It may not be this year. It may not be next year. It'll be worth it.
And you know, that can be a bitter pill to swallow. But what do? You get up, you pull your bootstraps up, you tighten your belt another hole, and you go on.
Yeah, this is a business you can't have a pity party. Can't feel sorry for yourself. You gotta get up and keep going. No matter what today handles, tomorrow's got to be there. Gonna be there, and you got to be prepared to face it.
I've been waiting on a miracle. I've been waiting on a sign, something borderline biblical, a band of angels in a line. I've always heard it happens that way, a star shooting across the sky, something pointing out the pathway, a dark tunnel to the light. Too busy with all the things that just don't matter, the second hand just keeps on flying faster. So what comes after?